What's going on, everyone? Welcome to All-in-One Sports back. Finally, it's been probably a week. I wouldn't say really a week, but it's been close there to since I uploaded a video. Just haven't really felt it lately, but I'm ready to bring out some draft videos, man. My mock draft had some really good success on the channel. Y'all guys really enjoyed it. And that was my first mock draft. I never came out with the positional rankings, though. So here today, I'm going to do something different than any YouTuber does. I'm actually going to do my draft rankings. You know, since I'm not a fancy guy, I don't have the incredible technology. I'm just a guy that uses broadcast gameplay on my PS4, and I use Madden as a template. As you know, I don't have these fancy images, or I don't have the editing system that I need to have. I'm a new YouTuber. I mean, I've been doing this for about I'd say almost about 2 months now, month and a half really. So, but today I'm doing something different. Like I said, I don't know if any other YouTubers doing it. I don't know, but this is how I do things around here. I'm not going to use the fancy slideshows, all that crap. We're just going to do it via Madden. Madden is a template. So, as you can tell, this is Bengals draft class. One of the most downloaded, the most downloaded file on PlayStation. He doesn't do Xbox, as he has explained plenty of times. And I got PlayStation. So, but anyways, this is his draft class. This is his rankings from this February, so last month. And I mean, they're decent. Some I might agree with, some I might not. Don't know what my thing is doing here. Some are decent. Some I will agree with, some I might not, but here's how we're going to do it. If y'all don't know, y'all can push L3, edit draft class, and we're already done with the realistic rebuild, so we don't care about the overalls of these players. But, here we are, we have all the positions. You can adjust the order, move it around, so that's what I'm going to do here. We're going to start off with quarterback. We're going to go top 5 by position of who I think, what I would rank, and I'm going to give you a, what am I trying to say here? I'm going to give you an explanation for my ranking. So, number 1, he has Joe Burrow here. I'm going to change that to Tua Tagovailoa. I think Tua right now has the higher ceiling than Burrow. I just think Tua is going to have a better career than Joe Burrow. That is my personal opinion. So if y'all are pissed off about this, I understand. Joe Burrow is going to go number 1 at the Cincinnati Bengals. Guys, the rankings that I am doing is not based on where they're going to get picked. It's based on what I think this player can translate to the NFL and what their future, like, best case scenario. I think Tua is going to have a better future than Joe Burrow. Now, the only thing is, Tua has health concerns, and I mean, that is very tempting to put Joe Burrow at number 1 due to the health concerns of Tua. But Tua has so much potential, so much upside. I mean, this guy, I think he's ahead of Joe Burrow in my rankings, here for my first ranking. I don't know if I'll do a second, but this is 1.0. But yeah, Tua is going to be my number 1 quarterback from Alabama. And then number 2, I'm not changing anything here. It's going to be Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow has more upside than Justin Herbert. Jordan Love is a sleeper here. Alright, Jordan Love could be the worst quarterback out of these 4, or he could be the number 1 quarterback out of these 4. It only depends. It just depends what kind of team he goes to and how they develop him. Because I think he's going to need time to develop. He's going to need time to sit. But this is about Joe Burrow here. He's going to go number 1 to the Bengals. He's going to go number 1. I just have Tua ahead of him, like I already explained, because I think Tua, without the health issues, is the better prospect. But Joe Burrow put up historic stats at LSU. The only thing I am concerned about with Joe Burrow is I would honestly say 1 year wonder. Is he a 1 year wonder? I mean, he didn't beat out, what's his name? Oh, he was at Ohio State. He didn't beat out, oh shoot. His name escapes me right now, the Ohio State quarterback from a couple years ago. But he didn't beat him out. I think he didn't beat out Dwayne Haskins, and then he transferred to LSU. And didn't really have the season that he had this year opposed to last year. This season, he went off. He had a historic college campaign, probably the best we've ever seen. And, I mean, I definitely think Joe Burrow's a franchise quarterback, man. I mean, he just has this swagger about him, you know? Confidence that, you know, a lot of these guys don't have. I think Joe Burrow has the most confidence out of any of these guys. But Joe Burrow just believes in himself, and I think he's going to be good for the Bengals. I really do. They just got to build a team around them, which I'm kind of worried that they're not going to do that successfully. So, but Joe Burrow is going to be my number 2 quarterback. My number 3 quarterback, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Jake Fromm, Jacob Eason, Jalen Hurts. Here's the thing. Yes, Justin Herbert has had an amazing offseason. He was great in the bowl game, his last game at Oregon. He was great in the Senior Bowl. He was great at the Combine. But I'm going to have Jordan Love ahead of him. I think with the right development, the right coaching staff, Jordan Love's going to be better than Justin Herbert. My opinion. I think Jordan Love, his height, he's got incredible arm power. As you can see, his throw power is 94. I mean, Herbert has incredible arm power too. But Jordan Love, man, I honestly love this guy. I think, like I said, right place, under a right coaching staff, maybe in Indianapolis, that would be a good fit. Chargers, potentially. Hell, even New Orleans or New England. I think Jordan Love is going to be the 3rd best quarterback here for me in the rankings. And number 4, Justin Herbert. Fromm, Eason, and Hurts just can't really compete with Herbert for this 4th spot. So, there's not much to say here. Justin Herbert, we all know what he's capable of. His physical attributes are some of the best in the class. He's mobile. He's a big guy. 6'6", 228. He's got an arm out of the roof. I mean, he's just an incredible player. But the thing that gets to me is his decision making. He's not the best at decision making. And I mean, I think that Oregon offense, the way they play football, really limited the ability for Herbert to do some of the things that he's best at. Throw the ball downfield and, you know, just things that Oregon didn't really do because they're more of a, you know, first read, spread type of offense. I mean, Herbert definitely did good in that system, but I just think in a system like Tampa Bay, man, I think in a system like Tampa Bay, Indianapolis has a good offensive line in front of him. He could sit for a year. I think the best fits are Indianapolis and Tampa Bay for Herbert, but just let him throw the ball deep. I think this kid has a special arm, but he's got to clean up some of his decision making. And number 5. From Eason or Hurts? Hurts had a really good combine, man. I do like Jalen Hurts. I like Jake Fromm. I think Jake Fromm's decent. I like Jacob Eason. I think these 3 quarterbacks right here could be a steal. I think all 3 of them could develop. They're probably not going to be starters year 1 or year 2, but down the road you might have something in one of these guys. And the 5th spot here for the quarterbacks, I'm going to give it right now to Jacob Eason. I think Jacob Eason has better arm talent than Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm is, really safe with the football, yes. But you need guys that in the clutch moments, they have to have that arm power. Throw it deep. Now, if Jake Fromm, what I'm trying to explain here is, if your team is down 24-14 in the 4th quarter, 24-10, Jake Fromm doesn't have, the big playability with his arm that I think an Eason has. I think that Eason has that big playability over Fromm and Hurts that puts him at the number 5 spot for me. Potential fits: Tampa Bay, Carolina would be a good fit. Maybe Chicago. There's a guy behind Trubisky. I just think Jacob Eason is better than these two. Nothing against Fromm or Hurts. I just think in the big moments, I think Eason is more likely to deliver. Going to running backs, DeAndre Swift is here at number 1. In my opinion, I'm actually going to change this real quick. I don't think he's the number 1 running back. I'm going to give that to Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor had a hell of a combine. Ran a 4.39, I believe. He's just like a bowling ball, man. He really is. He's a bowling ball. He's got speed, elusiveness. He can catch really good. I think Jonathan Taylor is my running back number 1. I think it's really close between him and Swift. It really is. You could go A1, A2 with Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, but I'm going to give the edge to Jonathan Taylor. I just feel like he's the better back. DeAndre Swift, I am going to keep him at number 2. I think he's the second best running back. Really close, like I said, but he is the second best running back in this draft class. I think DeAndre Swift is going to be, I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor's going to be a early to mid second round pick. I don't think any running backs are going in the first. So I'm going to say DeAndre Swift, like I said, Jonathan Taylor early to mid second. DeAndre Swift's going to be in that mid to late second. I think he'll be right behind Taylor in the draft. But I just think teams will value Taylor a little more than Swift. But Swift is an incredible playmaker. He has great speed, great catching. These top 2 running backs, yes, they might not be superstars, but they're really good players. And DeAndre Swift is a great player. Nothing against him. I just prefer Jonathan Taylor a little more, All right, and number 3, I'm not going to have J.K. Dobbins here. I'm going to have Mr. Cam Akers, the man that did really well at the Combine. He played behind a bad O-line at Florida State this year, man. He really did. He played behind a terrible offensive line, but he still had a really good year. He has great route running for a running back. He's got good catching. He can run. He's fast. Cam Akers is the 3rd best running back in this class. I think that there might be teams that value him over Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. I really do. I think Cam Akers was going to be in that discussion for running back 1 or running back 2, but for my rankings, I'm going to have him at number 3. And at number 4, I do have J.K. Dobbins. I think Dobbins is a good player. All these running backs are good for the NFL today. They can all catch out of the backfield. They're really good. Running up the middle. Jonathan Taylor does have some fumbling issues. I will say that. But he's still my number 1 back. But J.K. Dobbins here at number 4 for me. Good player. And at number 5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I like him. But I also really like Zach Moss. I'm going to go Zach Moss here. I think he's your straight up power back. I think, his combine, yes, he didn't run very fast, but I think the production that he's had at Utah, you just can't overlook that, man. I think Zach Moss is the 5th best running back in this draft class over Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Anthony McFarland, A.J. Dillon, Eno Benjamin, and then Kylan Hill. But yeah, I'm going to go with Zach Moss as my 5th best running back. Wide receiver. This is interesting. There's so many good players in this class at receiver. And this is tough. I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb as my number 1 receiver. Yes, he ran a 4.5, but I think that's fine for him. Just the way he gets open down the field, the way he makes plays after the catch. His route running isn't better than Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy has the best route running in the class. But I think overall as a prospect, CeeDee Lamb is going to get the nod. And then Jerry Jeudy at number 2 from Alabama. Jerry Jeudy, best route running in the class. Like I said, great hands. I just value CeeDee Lamb a little more. It's just my opinion. Jerry Jeudy, though, you can't go wrong with either of these receivers, man. At number 3, I do have Henry Ruggs, the 3rd from Alabama. Henry Ruggs is such a fast player, as you've seen at the Combine. Had a chance to break the 40-yard dash, or the 40-yard dash, 40-yard, whatever you want to call it, 40-yard dash, sure. Had a chance to break John Ross's record. He came up with a 4.27, but my God, is this guy fast. He can blow by defenders, and a lot of people say, okay, John Ross. No, he's not John Ross. He can catch the ball really good. He has a good route tree. I mean, this guy is going to be a special player. I just think he is. I think Denver is probably the likely landing spot for him at 15. I don't think he gets past 15. That's how special of a player this guy is. I think Denver is going to value speed on the outside of Cortland Sutton. I just think that's his landing spot. No spoilers for my mock draft coming up. And at number 4, it's not going to be Laviska Shenault. It's going to be Mr. Denzel Mims. Let's see. I'm trying to fix this here. Let me fix this real quick. This is the only thing that I don't like. But yeah, Denzel Mims is going to be my 4th best receiver here. Dude, he ran a 4.39 at 6'3", 207. This guy has the best route tree. I mean, Denzel Mims is a scary player, man. I really do. And that 87 speed is not correct on Bengals draft class. Denzel Mims is a fast player. Like I said, great route tree. You can't go wrong with Denzel Mims. Is he going to go in the 1st round? I'm not sure. I would say late 1st to early 2nd. I mean, with the value of receivers in this class, because there's so many good ones, dude. He might slip to mid-2nd. But Denzel Mims is my 4th best receiver in this class. And at number 5, the number 5 best receiver in the class, I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. A lot of people are projecting him in the slot, but he proved doubters wrong when he ran a 4.43 at the Combine, and he proved he can play on the outside. If you go back and watch his tape at LSU the last 2 years, he can play on the outside. He's not just a slot receiver. I know people want him in the slot, but he can be an outside threat on a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills, New Orleans Saints. I mean, Justin Jefferson is more than a slot receiver, and I think he has the potential to be the best receiver in this class. I mean, he is just that damn good. And there are guys like T. Higgins that I can't get to because this is only top 5. T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Reagor, KJ Hamler, Laviska Shenault. A lot of injury red flags there, but still a good player. I mean, all these receivers are freaking good. Donovan Peoples-Jones, but I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson as my 5th wide receiver. And moving to probably the most disappointing position group of this draft, it's the tight ends. The tight ends are not good. The tight ends are not good. I think this is the worst tight end class that we've seen in quite a long time. And at number 1, oh man, this is tough. I really haven't evaluated the tight ends other than the combine and what I've been hearing. I'm going to go with Adam Trautman as my number 1 tight end. I think Adam Trautman, from what I've heard, is a complete tight end. I haven't watched much tape, but the few things that I have watched on him, he's a complete tight end. He can catch, he can block. He did okay at the combine. The 40 was a little slow. I can't remember. It was like a 4.77, but that's not bad. I mean, he's 251 pounds, 6'5". But I think he's the number 1 tight end out of Dayton. I just think, like I said, he's a complete tight end. It's really all I have to say about Adam Trautman. There's not much to say about these tight ends. But at number 2, I am going to go with Bryson Hopkins. I think Bryson Hopkins is kind of like, he's a really good catcher. Blocking, I don't know so much about, but Bryson Hopkins is a good receiving tight end. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched much tape on these tight ends, but he is a good player, so I'm going to put him at number 2. Number 3, I'm not changing this. Albert Okwuegbunam from Missouri ran a 4.49 at 6'5", 255 pounds. Don't know if that's his official weight at the combine. I don't know, but this guy's scary, man. This guy is scary. Just his speed. I mean, if you go back and watch some film from Missouri, he's not the best route runner. He really isn't. I mean, and he does have some catching issues, but man, this guy has the upside. If he can just fix some of them things, man, he has the speed, he has the athleticism. I mean, he's a really interesting prospect, and I'm not going to move him down from this number 3 spot. I think he's that good. Number 4, I am going to go Cole Kmet here from Notre Dame. I don't know much about this guy. More of a name value type here. I just think, he's got good height, I don't know much about this tight end class, man, to be honest with you. I'm just ranking how I think it's going to go. So, Adam Trautman, Bryson Hopkins, Albert Okwuegbunam, Cole Kmet, and then at number 5, I'm not changing this. I think Thaddeus Moss is the 5th best tight end in this class. Obviously, Randy Moss's son. Didn't have much production until like the middle to the end of the season for LSU, but this guy, I think, has a really good chance to be a 3rd, a 4th, maybe 5th round pick. It depends on how this tight end class shakes up. But Thaddeus Moss, I'm going to have him at my number 5 tight end. Left tackle, Andrew Thomas. I think we're going to change that. Here's what we're going to do for the offensive lineman. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my top 5 offensive linemen instead of going left tackle, right tackle. That's a lot to, consume. So, my number 1 tackle is going to be Tristan Wirfs. I think Tristan Wirfs is the top tackle in this class. I mean, if you watch his tape at Iowa, he's a beast. I mean, obviously what he did at the combine was unreal. Ran like in the 4.8s for a guy 6'6", 300 pounds. That's insane. And I think he's very versatile too. I think he can play tackle. He can play on the inside. Whatever you want to do with Tristan Wirfs, I think he will be good at. And at number 2 on the tackles, I got Mekhi Becton. He weighed in probably like 365 at 6'7" and ran a 5'1". Guys, I'm like 220 pounds, and I probably wouldn't even run in the sixes. I mean, Mekhi Becton is such a physical prospect. The only reason I don't have him at number one is because I think Tristan Wirfs' ceiling is a lot higher not to bust. I think Mekhi Becton, he could bust. He really could. We've seen these athletic freaking tackles that come in that are humongous human beings, and their weight really doesn't fluctuate to the NFL level. I mean, this is a big boy. This is a big man, and I have to put him at number two just because of his athleticism. He's really good. He's just like a dancing bear, man, out on the field. Just go back and watch his highlights. He's a really good player. And at number three, I'm going to have to go with Jedrick Wills from Alabama. Another guy that's probably going to project as a right tackle. Could play left tackle. Leatherwood was the left tackle at Alabama this year, and Wills played on the right side. But I definitely think he could play on the left side in the NFL. Jedrick Wills is a good player. A lot of people probably have them as their top tackle, but I'm going to put him at number three here behind Wirfs and Becton. But this is another guy. Can play on the inside, can play on the outside. Whatever you want to do, I think he's going to have success. Can't go wrong with any of these tackles. And at number four, Andrew Thomas. Not the physical freak as the first top three, but this guy can play. I mean, he got better each and every year at Georgia, man. I mean, he can play. He's getting overlooked right now because, like I said, he doesn't have them amazing physical attributes that guys like Becton, Wirfs, and Wills have. He's just your ordinary tackle that can play really good. And I think a team like the Browns or Jets would be thrilled to take him because he is a great tackle. These top four tackle prospects are some of the best prospects that we've ever seen. So, Andrew Thomas, definitely number four. And at number five, could go with a guy like Josh Jones. We could go with a guy like, let's see, Austin Jackson, Lucas Niang. Where is he? Where is the guy I'm looking for here? Where's Ezra Cleveland? Ezra Cleveland. I don't know where Ezra Cleveland is, to be honest. But he's another tackle that could be in contention for that fifth tackle spot. But at number five, I'm going to have to go Josh Jones from Houston. Didn't have a great combine like everyone was expecting, but this guy's a beast. He's another beast. These top five tackles are amazing. Now, the drop-off after these top five tackles is pretty substantial. If your team is looking for a tackle, you probably want to take them in the first round. Because after that, there's a big drop-off. Ezra Cleveland's another good tackle that I didn't mention. I had a great combine. But Josh Jones is going to be my fifth tackle prospect. And for the guards and centers, interior offensive linemen, I'm just going to say, at the number one interior offensive line position, guards and centers, I'm going to go with Cesar Ruiz, a beast. I'm going to try and speed this up here. Cesar Ruiz is my top interior offensive line prospect. Number two is Netane Moody from Fresno State. Injuries definitely held him back from being number one, but he definitely is the number two interior offensive lineman on my board. And number three is going to be Tyler Biadasz. A lot of people are overlooking him because he hasn't had the best lead up to the draft. He's been kind of disappointing, but Tyler Biadasz is going to be my number three interior offensive lineman. Number four, let's see, Jonah Jackson. He's rated really low in this draft class, don't know why. But Jonah Jackson is a really good pass blocker, man. He really is. Run blocking, he needs a little more time to develop in that. Oh gosh, needs a little more time to develop in that area of his game. But he's a phenomenal pass blocker. I think he will be a good interior prospect. And at number 4, it's going to be Lloyd Cushenberry, the third from LSU. Lloyd Cushenberry is a really good player. I think he played center at LSU, but he's going to project really well to the next level. And did I do 5 already? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or no. 4. Hold up. I'm having a moment here. I did Tyler Beadosh. Hold up, guys. I am having a moment. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I did do 5. So Lloyd Cushenberry is my 5th ranked interior offensive lineman. Moving to the edge rushers. Now, these are definitely mixed up due to, it's Madden. So, edge rushers, Chase Young, number 1. We already know this. Chase Young is a freak. He really is. Number 2, I'm going to go with Caleb Chase on here from LSU. He's athletically gifted, needs to work on his pass rushing skills, but I think he definitely will. So he's going to be my number 2. My number 3 edge rusher in the class is going to be, let's see, I think I'm probably, number 3, I'm going to have to go, gosh, man, it's a lot easier on paper. Number 3, I definitely am going to go Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State. Had like 20 TFLs, not this year, but the last year. I just think the upside with this guy, he needs to get better production-wise with sacks and stuff. But the upside for Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State is unbelievable. Number 4 is going to be AJ Epineza. Didn't have a great combine, but he's still going to be a first-round pick. I think probably moved him down to the late first round after the combine, but he's still going to be there. And number 5, my number 5 edge rusher in the class is going to be, I'm going to go Terrell Lewis. Terrell Lewis from Alabama. He's going to be my number 5 edge rusher. Moving on to the interior defensive lineman. Number 1, I'm going to have Javon Kinlaw over Derek Brown. I think Kinlaw just brings more of a better, well-rounded prospect than Derek Brown. Derek Brown, amazing at run stuffing. But Javon Kinlaw can move the pocket better than Derek Brown, in my opinion. And that's what you have to do to get to a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. These guys that are mobile. You have to push the pocket. Javon Kinlaw is going to be my number 1 there. My number 2, Derek Brown, obviously. Like I was saying, good run stuffer. He's going to be a good player at the next level. Just don't think he has the upside as Kinlaw. Number 3, I'm going to go with Marlon Davidson here. Marlon Davidson is one of my favorite players in the class. Had a pretty solid combine, I think. Didn't really watch much of the defensive line. I just kind of read about it. But Marlon Davidson has been my number 3 interior defensive lineman. He's not an edge rusher, in my opinion. I mean, kind of depends on what kind of scheme you're really playing. I mean, he could play 3-4 defensive end, but in my opinion, he's more of a defensive lineman or defensive tackle. At number 4 for these interior defensive linemen, I'm going to go with Ross Blacklock here from TCU. He's got a lot of things to work on, but he's a freak. He's a freak. I think Ross Blacklock's going to be in that second round discussion pretty early. At number 5, I do have Neville Gallimore. His ceiling isn't very high, but he's a freak of an athlete. I think go back and watch his Oklahoma tape, and you'll be impressed. I mean, he's a good player. So he'll come in at number 5 for me. Linebackers, Isaiah Simmons, obviously number one. Don't have much to say other than the word I've been using for a lot of these prospects. He's a freak. And he's freakier than any other player in this class. He could play pretty much any position on defense, and he'll have success at it. I mean, he did pretty much all of the positions at Clemson. Rushed up the edge, played linebacker, played safety, played corner. I mean, Isaiah Simmons could do it all. Number two linebacker for me is going to be Kenneth Murray. I think Kenneth Murray has that sideline type linebacker that you're looking for. More of a late first round, early second round pick, but I think Kenneth Murray is going to be my number two linebacker. Number three, Patrick Queen, another guy. I mean, he is sideline to sideline. Kind of a late bloomer prospect. I mean, not a lot of people paid attention to him until the Combine, the Senior Bowl, all that kind of stuff. That's when people started to talk about Patrick Queen. Another guy that I think is late first round to mid second round. Somewhere in that territory. And then at number four, where is he? Where is Akeem Davis? I guess he's not in this class. Akeem Davis Gathers? I guess not. But yeah, I guess he's not in this draft class, but Akeem Davis Gathers from Appalachian State is going to be my number four linebacking prospect. Number five, I am going to go with Willie Gay Jr. from Mississippi State, a guy that not many people had their eyes on. He had some red flags. It was nothing really serious. It was like, I think, academics that he got suspended for this season, but he really turned it on at the Combine, showed his athleticism, and he's a top five linebacking prospect to me. So, corners, Jeff Okudah, obviously number one. He is going to be the first corner off the board. I don't think there's any discussion for that. I think after his Combine, he may move down to like a pick to like Jacksonville at number 9. But I don't think he goes any farther than number 9, honestly. I think that's kind of his floor, is at number 9 to the Jaguars. Number 2 corner, I am going to go Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton kind of helped his stock, raise it a little more. Kind of went down after the national championship game, but he got it back to where it was before after his Combine performance. Did really well. So he's my number 2 corner. My number 3 corner, I like this list so far. C.J. Henderson. He's going to be my number 3 corner. He ran a 4.39, I believe, at the Combine. Not many people expected him to run that fast, but he did. So shout out to C.J. Henderson. And my number 4 corner, this is where it gets interesting because I'm going to have my boy Jeff Gladney move up here to the number 4 corner spot. I think he has to have surgery on a torn meniscus that he played through at TCU. And he did end up running a 4.47, I believe, at the Combine. Not as fast as many people thought he was going to be. A lot of people thought he had run in the mid 4.3s, early 4.3s. But Jeff Gladney's an incredible prospect. Number 5 corner for me, that's going to be A.J. Terrell. Helped his stock a lot at the Combine. I think A.J. Terrell is going to be the 5th corner off the board. Trayvon Diggs, you could say, has an outside chance. But I think A.J. Terrell is going to be my 5th corner. Going to the safeties here. This is an interesting class. So, I think the guys that you can talk about potentially in that late first round, early second round tier, you're going to have your Xavier McKinney, Ashton Davis, Grant Delpit, Antoine Winfield, Kyle Duggar, even, I don't know if he's on here, Jeremy Chin, I think was his name, but let's go ahead and get into these safety rankings here. Number 1 safety for me, it's going to surprise some people, but it's going to be Antoine Winfield Jr. And I know he's like 5'9", 5'10". This guy has the pedigree. His dad played in the NFL for so long with the Vikings. I mean, and he just, watch his tape, man. He's so explosive. I mean, he's such a good player. Antoine Winfield is my number 1 safety. A lot of people are going to disagree with that, but I think he's my number 1 safety. Number 2 is going to be Xavier McKinney, more of your kind of in the box kind of safety. He's going to be really good at the next level. Grant Delpit is going to be number 3 for me. A lot of people are kind of iffy on Grant Delpit because of his tackling issues. I mean, talent-wise, he's a top 10 player in this class. But for me, he's going to be my number 3 safety. Or number 4. Is it number 4? Honestly, it's number 4, I think. Yeah, it's number 4, because I had Antoine Winfield, Xavier McKinney. Oh no, it's going to be my number 3. Sorry, guys. Number 3 is going to be Grant Delpit. Number 4, Kyle Duggar from Lenoir-Rhyne. He's my sleeper, man. I think Kyle Duggar from Lenoir-Rhyne is going to be a really good player. He did really well at the Combine, turned a lot of heads. I think he's going to be my 4th safety. My 5th safety, Ashton Davis. I think Ashton Davis is a great prospect. He's a hard hitter, has a nose for the football. I think he's going to project well too. I think he's going to be in that late second to third round type of safety. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel as always if you haven't already, turn on the post notifications. These were my rankings. Leave down below in the comments what y'all thought about them. I appreciate any feedback as possible, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video here at All in One Sports, and I will have my mock draft soon coming out, so be sure to subscribe, man. Turn on the post notifications so you don't miss it. But anyways, guys, until next time, peace out. Later.